Welcome back to another jam-packed edition of Around the Blok, your go-to show for all the latest news, updates, and community buzz from the Blokpax universe. I'm your host, Jen Kahn, joined as always by my co-host, the ever-insightful Tex Hooper, as we break down everything you need to know this week. Our field reporters have been working hard to bring you the latest updates, and we've got plenty to cover. Of course, keep the wheels turning behind the scenes. We've got Slappy Whyte on the controls, making sure everything runs smoothly, well, as smooth as possible. And Eva the intern is here with the latest fantasy fix, keeping you all in check and on the leaderboard. So sit back and let's get into it. It's time to go around the block. Hey, Tex.
Jen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I've been better. I found out the other day I have RSV. Because apparently I'm a 6-year-old.
Oh. Well, I can't say that I don't see the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So if you see me, I might be muting myself here to cough, drinking lots of liquids. So bear with me.
Hopefully you feel better soon.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Okay.
Anyway, let's get into it. Enough about me. Nobody cares. We have some huge breaking news right now, and we're joined by our good friend, Eric S. Eric, what the hell is going on?
Eric.
Hello, Tex. Hello, Jen.
Tell us.
What
is it?
I know. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear anything personal. I don't care where you are. Yeah. I don't care what you're doing. I just want to hear.
No,
whoa!
Wow!
If that's what
he rugged us.
He rugged us. That's what you get. No. Well, I mean, you guys have only been waiting like a couple months for this, maybe a year now. The day has come where I can say that all of the Wonders of the First product is sealed up, ready to go. You guys would have seen the announcement already, but I have the 1 of 1 box in my possession. This will actually travel home with me, and we'll take special care of it. So what we did to make this really special for all the collectors who have the 1 of 1 boxes is we shrink wrap the box first, then put it in an acrylic case, added some Wonder to the First, logo stickers to the corners. And then we went as far as shrink wrapping the entire acrylic case as well, to help protect against counterfeiting, authentication. And we really tried to go the extra mile for the collectors who own these very special 1 of 1 boxes.
So you're basically telling people, do not open. Why don't you just put a sticker that says, do not open, do not break seal, in case of emergency, do not break glass.
Yeah. So a lot of people, the community's obviously been growing. So, you have to assume not everybody knows the whole story, but these boxes were distributed as a fair randomization first using our blockchain technology. And then we did basically an update to randomize who won what box in a sense of who got the ownership of what box. And now that everything is sealed, you guys will know by now, we'll random all the serialization for the boxes so everyone knows what they own. But this box actually went up for auction, and a European collector ended up being the person who won, not won, but purchased this box, and it went for a little over $33,000. So I'm not sure everybody in the community knows that, but this very first box was sold for $33,000. It's pretty special. It's a really cool moment to see this first box come to life after all the time of putting in and building the product basically from ground up as a team.
That's amazing.
That's nuts, and it's so crazy to see it. This is as close, and we're not even close, but that is as close as I will ever come to that box. So all of the 1 of 1s are getting that same treatment.
Yep. So each orbital, each orbital has a 1 of 1. So there's 7 total, 6 orbitals in the first box. So those 7 will get that treatment, and they will be. We'll likely vault them first for people also, and let them have the option to redeem them out of the marketplace.
Wow.
Okay. And then for the rest of us layman over here with the regular ordinary boxes. As far as serialization goes,
Yep. I mean, it's already part of that announcement, so you'll be good to
done.
go. All that'll be done, and we'll have a whole process set up for you guys to claim the boxes that you want to be at the Shattering versus what you want, sent to your house with your Kickstarter orders. We'll likely box it all together in one shipment.
So for the Shattering, we'll be able to claim our serialized boxes and our along with the dragon boxes and everything, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So if anything from Serialized Advantage is the out of 99 boxes, the
Right.
the out of 93 box, or the Dragon, which is out of 2,699. So, you've already RSVP'd about your Kickstarter order, and basically what we'll do is when you do your claim, we'll probably just have you guys put the Marriott address in so that we can export those only, and then give it to Cardio. They'll combine your orders and ship them to the Shattering, or ship them, with your Kickstarter order to your house.
Wonderful. I can't wait for the Shattering. It
I
can't come
know.
soon enough.
I know. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time. I'm
Christmas
bummed I
in
missed the
March.
I'm bummed I missed the Winter Brawl, but I'm excited that I get to go to the Shattering because I was obviously still at the factory for all this.
I know the Winter Brawl sounded amazing, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But
Cool.
Thank you for this amazing update. It's spectacular, and we can't wait to get these in our little hands. Well,
Yes.
not that I'll be
Yeah.
getting a one in my hands, but my dragon boxes and serialized boxes will be
Yeah.
very nice. So.
Can't wait for you guys to rip these open. Hopefully some of you record your rips as well, and we can get some cool shots of you guys what you hit.
For sure, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you so much, Eric.
It's time for everybody's favorite segment. This is Xheryk WEN. And joining us today is our very special guest, Eric S. There he is.
Hey guys. Hey,
Wow, I have
what's
someone
going
else to talk to besides text. I'm so excited.
It's the Xheryk WEN with Eric segment.
Yeah, the
Xheryk
Xheryk with Eric.
Sounds like a horrible law firm.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna rapid fire at you, Eric. So buckle up, get ready.
Okay, I'll do my best.
Okay, so first one on the block is the Sharks.
Sharks probably pushed back into Q2. We're doing some fun art stuff with it right now, so we're working our way through it. But probably Q2. We could have them up.
All right, moving right along. Cosmics. Is there any update on that?
I spent a lot of time here at the factory getting wonders resolved, so Cosmics probably gonna need a little more time so that I can dig in and make sure we award everybody correctly on their previous ownership and how we're gonna move to the next stage of Cosmics.
Is Q1 still the target?
I mean, Q1's over in 30 days. It'd be a stretch, but maybe. But
Okay.
more likely to push back a little bit.
Okay, so is art? I think one of Frenchie's last updates was that there was a separate team working on the art and stuff, so the art's pretty far along.
So that side of it, yeah, they're working on all that art. They're the whole character list basically. So we want to make sure we have all that done so that we can figure out how to, kind of pivot the old Bantam stuff over into the Cosmic stuff. So we're just making sure we get it all ironed out.
Any chance of a artwork preview to maybe satiate some people until release?
I can ask. We might be able to have a couple little leaks that we can do.
All right.
Couple of leaks. Do those puzzles where you have to move the pieces
right,
and
yeah.
together and
Every week.
put up a new
every
piece.
week.
Put out another puzzle.
That could be fun.
All right. Next we have the Shattering, which is what a lot of people are talking about and very excited about. I know I personally am.
Yep. So the Shattering went from, it was only going to be the one-day event from 6 to 10 to a meet and greet kind of with the team on Friday night, and now a Sunday tournament in the morning. So we've definitely filled up that weekend with a little more activity for everybody. It's all pretty much planned. We're ready to go. There's a lot of fun that's going to be happening. I'm sure you guys saw we Magic the Historian showed up in our Discord for Wonders. He actually has he's a really big Magic. He literally has the history of Magic. He's covered it forever. So he's coming down, and we're hoping he can kind of take a look at Wonders and start making some content around it. He's a funny character, so pretty excited to have him down there. And then, do you have any other questions specifically about the Shattering that you're curious about?
What's in the goodie bags?
Well, we put it out in the update. I know Tex tends to not see anything, but it's
I'm a busy man. Got a lot of balls in the air.
There's a fun playmat that it's in the goodie bag that is going to be there. There is a alt art promo card that will be in there, and then obviously some merch, some things like that. That'll be I'll keep some stuff a secret still.
Okay, right. And what about the uncut sheets, which I personally did not get, although I glance at it from afar and sigh, but I know Tex, you got one, right?
I do. I'll sell you mine for $5,000.
Yeah.
Well, actually, for you, I'll do $4,500.
Okay.
I like your face.
The uncut sheets are 26 or 30 inches by 60 inches, so they're pretty large. So in order to ship them, we're gonna have to put them in a flat shipping, so they won't come directly with all your Kickstarter stuff. But we're gonna make sure we do something nice to keep them safe in the shipping.
That's a bit of breaking news right there. So you are gonna ship them flat and not rolled?
Yes, we in the Kickstarter we said we wouldn't roll them. You don't want to roll foil board. You could get it. It could start to crack, especially depending on how long it's rolled up for and how tight.
Okay, so will they ship to the Shattering, or they're going to ship separately? No?
For the sake of the people coming, if they bought one, I wouldn't want to ship it to the Shattering because they'll have a hard time getting it home. Like they're not going to just carry it in their backpack with them.
It's box.
It's basically 5 feet, 4.5 to 5 feet long. So you're not taking it on a plane with you.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, and then with the Dragon, the serialized advantage boxes. So those people get to choose whether they want them shipped to the Shattering or shipped to their Kickstarter address. And but we also get to vault them.
Yeah, so the goal there was we're going to use the marketplace to do your normal redemption process that you would have for like a vaulted card, right? So all those digital versions are already in the marketplace. We actually did open that up. So for those who don't know yet, you can use bank.blokpax.eth and you can start migrating your stuff from OpenSea into the marketplace, and then use the marketplace to redeem your digital ownership for the physical box. And obviously, just like normal, you put your address in and you do a redemption.
Now, will all of the Dragon boxes and all the other boxes, serialized boxes, be vaulted, or are we going to have to redeem them at some point?
Technically, they're already vaulted. You have to redeem them to get them. I believe when we first talked about this, we were giving like a year, I believe, to claim your boxes originally. So I'm trying to recall. I'm actually pretty sure we said we would up to a year. Then it would be like the 90. I think the 99s and the 101s could stay vaulted if you wanted to, but the Dragon boxes have to go.
Right. Okay.
Okay, and one other question on that is, do people have to move them all to the marketplace, or only
if you want to redeem them, you're gonna have to use the marketplace.
Okay.
And then obviously, like I was saying with the Dragon boxes, ultimately, yes, everybody needs to claim the Dragon boxes. We're not gonna store them forever.
Excellent.
Okay, and then I think just to hit on a couple of dates for the Shattering, so that's March 21st through the 23rd.
Correct.
And then we also have I think people were having questions on fulfillment, shipping, where it's coming from, and then when it's going to hit the street for retail.
Okay, so it'll be delivered to Cardio. They'll begin fulfilling orders between the 15th and 21st. So that means it's going to land, a couple days after that for normal shipping time. And street date for retail right now, Target is March 28th for Target and LGS locations.
Okay. And then I know there was another question out there on when will we get a published list of those retail locations?
Probably not going to be live until closer to the Shattering. We'll get the goal is to get the whole list of the targets into our store finder, just like BoBA had all the hobby shops. That's obviously a bit of work to load. Off the top of my head, I think it's going to be roughly 800 locations of targets that will have it. So that's an estimate. It could be plus or minus.
And again, what exactly is it that the targets will have?
So Target is getting a 2-player starter deck. They are really, really, I guess, retooled starter decks that are playable for like a newcomer right away, but they can also play well. They're not just like a crappy starter deck. But the really cool thing about those 2-player starters is there's 2 packs from the first edition Kickstarter boxes. So we had a company holdback allotment, and we sacrificed a fairly large portion of them to break up and put 2 of these first edition packs in the starter decks, so that people, the collectors out there, have a fun chase as well. Because just like any other thing when we build, there's an equal opportunity to hit based on prorated. Any of the OCMs, the formless foils, the stone foils, it could be, once it goes in the pack, those packs can go anywhere. So there's an opportunity to hit some really, really cool stuff in those boxes as well.
And now there's also special cards that are packaged with those, some alt art cards.
Yeah, so the 2 cover characters have an alt art from their normal card in the set. There's a special alt art only available in those 2-player starters as well.
Okay, and it's just that one specific. There aren't other chase cards or anything. Just the one art.
Well, the first edition packs are the chase cards in there.
Right.
But
okay.
the precons will all be the same for playability.
Gotcha. Excellent. I think that's all we have for shatters, for the shattering questions. So we'll move on to, on the heels of that, we have the National coming up in July. That'll be July 30th through August 3rd in Chicago. And is there anything you can tell us about that? We know that you guys have a huge footprint there this year.
Yeah, I really look forward to Chicago. First of all, I love the venue. I love being able to walk from the hotel over to the venue. It's cool because everybody's kind of in the same place and we can all hang out and mingle. Not that I got to hang out much last year. It was already kind of chaos for us and loved every second of it. But I expect this year to be even bigger, even crazier. We're growing in terms of some of our fandom, so I expect our booth to be very busy and very fun. Obviously, we hope to. I'll say this: Bo should be there again, and we're hoping to bring along maybe a few more of our NIL athletes to bring them and have them make guest appearances as well. And then obviously the big tournament itself. I mean, there's $100,000 in prizes up for grabs. Obviously there's a couple different brackets now that we'll do. And as always, you never know with us. We like to make some surprise promo things for events. As you can tell from the Winter Brawl, there was some fun playmats that people got to see. So you never know what we'll make for the National that'll be special.
Very
Awesome.
excited for that. Okay, so moving on to everyone's favorite topic, collision art.
So Collision, baseball's ready. The page is almost ready for minting, so I'm really working to get that one up. Obviously, there's a lot of things happening in the last 45 days, so our engineer team has been a little buried. But we get that up. That'll mint. The football art's being worked on. I won't announce the legend yet, but we're working. We know we're behind. I'll apologize to the whole community for it. Obviously, we've gotten hit by a wave of activity with BoBA and now Wonder. So we're playing catch up. So I apologize for it being late, but I want to get those 2 out. And then I'll turn my attention to basketball after that as well.
Okay.
Excellent.
And for those who don't know, the collision for baseball is the Doubleday.
Yeah.
Right? Doubleday ball. Is that what it's called?
Abner Doubleday. It's actually a gold plated. They like dip the balls in gold after they use them in like the 1800s or early 1900s. So it's a ball that was used apparently during that era and during those games. For people who don't know, their baseball games used to take 4 days. They would play for 4 days, and the scores would be like 48-50 and crazy stuff like that.
That's wild.
Okay, awesome.
Now, is there any new information on the Lost Miner books, the numbered to 99 books that were with the Dutch auction?
Yep. So I actually have been working with James on it, and I believe the Dutch auction for that should run sometime next week, actually. So
Wow.
we should have a post up soon for that one. And we'll start communicating it, and we'll run that Dutch auction I think we're going to do the out of 99 books first by themselves. And then I'll figure out either we may run the unnumbered ones separately after that.
Excellent.
Okay, awesome. And then everyone is dying to know about the next BoBA, the Bo Battle Arena product release, the alpha update.
Yeah. I would say right now, flexible Target delivery for everybody, not just Target. Well, we're going into Target too for BoBA, not just Wonders. So there's that as well.
Wow.
But the goal is, I'll say probably June 1st-ish. We'll call it. Maybe a little earlier, maybe a little later. But the goal is to give enough time to upgrade your decks before you get to the National at the end of July.
Any chance we get a preview of artwork and or players in the?
I'll give you this surprise.
Oh!
I don't believe we will have a repeat signer except for Bo for the autograph list. It'll be an entirely new autograph list, and we could potentially bring people back later in sets.
How many people are on the autograph list for the update?
35. We're going
35 with no repeats?
Yeah.
Wow.
What?
They're all going to be in the update. They're all going to be in the update release, or spread out.
All in update.
What?
Holy!
That's pretty mind blowing.
When I told you guys we've been busy and buried, it's because we're trying to make sure that the product stays fun, fresh. You know, like you want new things, new art, new everything. Now that doesn't mean, I'm saying the goal is not to repeat. Maybe we do and repose some people, but as of right now, the goal is not to repeat the autograph list.
Wow,
it's amazing.
It's a lot of work.
Oh,
I love it. It's a lot of
sorry,
work, but it's crazy.
You said we're looking at around June for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent.
You guys are getting all the goods.
Yeah.
I don't think you expected all these on the WEN section this time.
No. Okay, and what is the status on the Kickstarter backer boxes?
The full Kickstarter orders, they will be shipping between March 15th and March 21st. We should have them being fulfilled by Cardio. So they'll all be going out the door with that week, basically. It'll take a few days for shipping. And we'd like to add the Serialized Advantage boxes, as long as people claim them, redeem them, into their Kickstarter order. So the goal there is to get it all to you at once.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Okay. And that brings us to the big BoBA tournament, the Bo Battle Arena tournament that is going to be in Chicago at Nationals.
Yep. So there's going to be a couple different brackets. There'll be $100,000 prizes available. And, you know, you'll have Apex, you'll have squads, there'll be some spec deck. We'll have some fun stuff. Maybe we'll do like colored decks and things like that. If you look on BoBattleArena.com, there's a section that should tell you all the different available deck styles that we'll have.
Excellent.
So basically, bring all of my cards.
Yeah. You need Jen's gonna need like a steamer trunk. And all the rules for the tournament are posted, correct?
Yep,
In the Discord?
updated. Working on the Manuel update so that we can keep adding to it, iterating. A lot of it went really well at the Winter Brawl. That was a test to see how the rules played. There's, I believe, only one question on a play. So seems to be that document's really helping people understand the rules, the gameplay aspects.
Wonderful.
Okay, and just so everyone doesn't forget, the grand prize is $100,000, which is not chump change. So
Yeah, not chump
Wait,
change.
can we make it so Petrarca isn't allowed in this
I
tournament?
know. Can he not compete?
Well, he can't just win out of luck. He actually has to play. So
I don't know. Okay, we've talked about the best baller buyback has already started for football. Is there an end date for that?
we don't currently have an end date. We want people to have some time to send them in every week that they want to, or maybe they're still ripping stuff and hitting things. Like, you can still go back. That's the other thing. You can still go back and rip products that haven't their best ballers haven't been hit on everything, and you can then send them in, and we'll obviously continue to pay out that best baller buyback. No end date currently, but yeah, just leave it open so people can still enjoy the product and not feel like they're missing out on something if they hit a good hit.
Wonderful.
Okay. And my personal favorite, the points for season 2B other.
Oh, is this the miscellaneous kind of?
Yeah, geeks, collision,
The
punks,
hangover,
phantoms,
yeah.
miners. Yeah.
Yeah, I have somebody right now working on it all because they still have to go back to the old OpenSea stuff to make sure we get all the points right. Infinity Knight's actually working on that for me. So it's a 2 million token, 2 million miles prize pool. That was set already. So we're just figuring out the math for it. That I'd like to get it all out with this year's drip. When we get, so obviously last year, our drip was like, we locked like March 1st-ish, and then we delivered drips for the end of March. So we'll probably run the same cadence, give ourselves a couple days grace, but end of March is when you'll get your drip for the whole season, and I'm hoping to get another drip out with it that has that miscellaneous prize pool.
Awesome.
As we know, multiple wallets are now allowed in the Blokpax ecosystem. And how has that been going? Does it seem like there's been any problems with that, Eric?
I don't think there's been any issues. I know a couple people have started to attach their second wallets, so it seems like everything's going well there.
Great.
Okay, and I think we touched previously on the baseball football snapshot, the timeline.
Yeah. So I would say we'll do it. We'll do probably first week of March. Get the snapshot, get all the points in order, and then we'll deliver drips the end of March, just like we did last year. So we're trying to work to a calendar cadence of our year is basically April 1st to March 30th. So that becomes our, you get your 3 sports in that timeline.
Okay, so basically, couple days. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple days.
Finish those sets and rainbows, people.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Yeah, you've had all year.
The time is now.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to some big news. The new Snap game that's coming.
Okay.
It starts in I think less than a week.
Yeah, so
Or the first round does, I believe.
Yeah, so the first round of Snap Games, we'll get a concrete date up there for you guys in a post, obviously, and get out some information on it. But new Snap Game is going to be really fun. It brings back that old Raz style where there's the thrill of the chase, except you don't have to wait for anybody now. You can literally run your Raz by yourself and do your 5 rounds of elimination, or you could do 3 and stop and still sell out of your position if you wanted to. You don't have to finish it. So I expect some people who are big card chasers to come in and looking to be buying like that best of 8 token or whatever tier that they're most interested in. And that, I think that'll get a lot of juice flowing again in the community.
And
Yeah,
go ahead, Jen.
No, I was just gonna say, just to clarify, for this drop only, we still have the old and the new Snap games.
Yeah,
So
this would be the
old
only one that you
shatters.
get both, correct? And then
Yeah,
we'll go
so
to
the
the new one after.
shatters, there's actually a schedule published for.
Yeah.
already,
Yep.
a drop schedule.
Yep.
The new Snap Games, I don't think we've
Is
heard any dates,
to
and
be
we
de-
haven't
to be
even gotten the
determined.
snaps yet, right?
No, they're still to be
Yeah.
determined on that one.
Yep. Okay.
And when will a list be published for the physical cards?
Are you talking for this current Snap game?
Yeah.
It's live on help.blokpax.
Oh, is it up
It's
already?
all updated.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's all updated.
Okay.
Yep.
Very good. And a list for the upcoming Snap game. That'll be
not released yet.
okay. Excellent.
Okay. Any updates on new merch that might be available? I know there were some announced at the Winter Brawl.
There'll be some Wonders merch that'll be available. We're working on some Bo Jackson Battle Arena merch also. We've really adopted the Let's Bo because that seems to be really popular. If you go on Caster Society at all, or if you've been in the Discord for BoBA, people seem to be loving the Let's Bo or LFB. So we're adopting it kind of as the community's grown to love it. It seems.
I definitely want to. Let's effing Bo.
LFB. I need an LFB shirt, Eric.
Yes. Do you have any information on the Bo Battle Dutch auction that should be coming up?
Are you referring to the mystery cards?
Yes.
Yeah, so we have 3 of them that we've done so far for those mystery cards. There is likely to be 2 more. We got to do some messaging to the BoBA community to make sure they're fully aware of what's going on there. And then we should run them probably. I could see it being before the end of the month, before the end of March. We could probably get up another 1 or 2 of them and sprinkle them in. We just got to make sure, again, the biggest reason we paused that was that we could message correctly to the BoBA community, which obviously we haven't really done yet either because we've just been so busy with planning with the Brawl and then obviously our Wonders production.
Did we do all 3, Eric? I thought the third one didn't run.
No, we ran 3.
The Amon Ra was the last one.
Yeah, it was the 4th one that didn't run.
That didn't run. Oh, okay.
So there'll be 6 altogether?
There'll be 5.
It's all said and done?
5.
Oh,
5.
So there's 2 more. Okay.
Yeah, 2 more.
Okay, awesome. And then to wrap it up, we end on a Frenchie note. There was a big announcement that he put out this week. If you want to kind of touch on it and summarize it for those of us who missed it or can't read text.
Yeah. So obviously we're working towards, we have a miles inflation currently as you guys are earning them and being rewarded with them, and we're going to continue to do so, but what we're trying to do is increase the deflation aspect of it. So it's, when you think of fees in the world, like they're everywhere, right? And our fee is a 3.9% fee on the miles that are used for purchases and transferring. When you think of like eBay fees and COMC fees and all these outtake fees that exist, we are far, far cheaper than any of them in terms of what's being taken from the fee. So it's not a big chunk to you personally, but it helps us with the deflation of the token over time, the miles rewards over time. And then the second part of that is geeks obviously get a special deal here when it comes to redeeming your items out of the marketplace. There is going to be like an outtake fee that we're adding and shipping fees, but geeks get a discount, and then there will be special opportunities that geeks may not have to pay, right? Things like that. Geeks get free shipping, but they'll still pay an outtake fee. So you're still getting free shipping as a geek holder. So those will pay for themselves for a lot of people who redeem a lot of cards over time.
Okay, and when is all of this starting? Is there a target date?
Yeah, so part of that announcement is it's live. So that fee will be live. The redemption process will be live in the marketplace. We'll turn it on for the storefronts. And then obviously the fee, it gets cheaper per card. So you do it in bulk, and it costs you a lot less also. Because it costs us the same, basically, like shipping cost to shipping cost, right? So we'll make it cheaper for you guys if you do it in bulk. So you could do them like accumulate and order a chunk at a time.
Great.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you this was very exciting, Eric. I'm so happy that you could
Yeah,
you could come and chat with us, because Tex and I just going down the list is
it gets a little monotonous after a while,
yeah.
especially when
You guys
there's not a
like,
lot of new updates.
Yeah.
can we do the WEN section? I was like, yeah, I've got some things, and I have one more little one, just a little.
Oh,
Oh.
all right. Bonus.
So we're working. It should be live if you go in our Discord and hit /profile and a username. It should tell you how long that person's been in the Discord, if they're a lost miner, like what their different titles are, what projects they're a part of in our Discord. So we're doing that for two reasons. One, we have to use gated. If we move all of the things that are gated off of OpenSea into our marketplace, you'll lose roles. So we've had to add it to our Discord. So you might do some re-verifying if you move stuff around, or you would lose channels. But the bigger thing is people, trying to help with somebody getting scammed by a fake account. So now you could do /profile, put in the username. You can see how long they've been in the ecosystem and all the basically the things, how long they've been part of it. I think the marketplace as well. But we won't disclose their username in the marketplace, because that's still their personal private information. But you'll obviously use their Discord name to look them up.
Very cool. I'm gonna take a wild guess here and give a shout out to Infinite for that.
Infinite was working on it. Yep, with our engineer team. Yeah.
I just tried it as we're speaking, and it works.
Yeah. So it may not. Again, cool. It might. I haven't really dug into it, so stuff may not be updating. But I guess if you could see what you currently own or what your roles are in there. Some say unverified, so you can re-verify and things like that. So you just have to work through that list.
Wonderful.
Very cool.
It's pretty cool. It's a fun little tool.
That's all I got for you. I think I
I
covered a lot.
Sure, there's nothing else. Nothing else you want to tell us.
Nope, that's it.
No, okay. I tried.
All right. Well, thank you again, Eric. We know you're very busy, so we appreciate any time you're able to provide us and give to us.
No, I love you guys covering all this stuff, getting all this information out, rehashing it so people have a single centralized place to go get answers. Just helps keep everything organized and keeps information flowing. So I appreciate the work you guys do.
Thank you very much, Eric, and we appreciate everything you do for the community.
Now get back to work.
Yeah,
chop.
Back to work.
Thanks,
so you can
guys.
get home. So you can finally come home. All right, we got a surprise for you. We're joined by our good friend Hawkewind, and he has a very special guest with him today.
We
hey,
do
Hawk.
actually. Hello,
Hawk,
how you
what's
guys
up?
doing? I got to turn on my.
Oh, there you
we
go.
Oh my God, you almost blinded yourself.
Yeah,
Oh,
really.
God.
Jesus.
You sound like my wife, but whatever. I'm a little bald up top. We got a good guest today. Actually, he just joined our Discord. He really is going to be introduced to the community, but he was at the winter brawl for Bo Jackson Battle Arena, and he took second place. And according to what I've heard rumor-wise, is he had really never played Bo Jackson Battle Arena ever before, not even practice. And what the rumor at the winter brawl was that he was extremely good at it, actually playing, and that his skills are really what had him go all the way to the finals. So without further ado, let's talk to Jake. Welcome, Jake.
How's it going? Thank you.
Seatown, how are you?
I am wonderful. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Good. So let's get into it. Why don't you tell us about how you heard about Bo Jackson Battle Arena and how you got into it, and why you drove all the way from, what was it, Buffalo?
Buffalo area, yeah. Western New York. Extreme Western New York, yeah. New York's actually quite a big state, man. That's even a far drive itself. Syracuse.
About 3 hours.
Yeah. So I guess we'll start at the beginning. Back, I was organizing my prep to go to the National last year, and I got an ad on Facebook showing that you guys were coming out with this new game, Bo Battle Arena. Long-time huge Bo Jackson fan, so I figured I'd take a look. Followed the ad, did a bunch of pre-orders for the Alpha Hobby boxes and whatnot, and then I didn't participate or learn to play at the national that year or last year, but I did interact with some of the staff and bought some more product there and a couple of the gold packs, I think.
Nice.
And a starter deck, the national serialized to $29.99 or whatever.
Yep.
From there, my one game of experience was with that starter deck when I traveled back home to Washington State, and I, showed it to my buddy, and we got one game in before we started setting up for the barbecue we were having. So that was it. And I kind of forgot about it. I was on the West Coast for about 3 months or something. Came back just before Christmas, and kind of started getting into it. Started opening some of the product that I had been delivered while I was gone, the alpha boxes and whatnot. And now I'm retired Navy, so I have a lot of free time, which helps, and enabled that drive down to South Carolina for the Winter Brawl. And I couldn't be happier that I went, honestly. Everybody was very, very gracious, super friendly and awesome. And it was a really fun experience. Like I said, I hadn't really gotten into the weeds of any of the games yet. And at the Winter Brawl, I realized how intense and fun they are, and that's about it. Now I took second, like y'all said, and I think his name's Jeff, the creator.
Yep.
Going into game 3 of the final round, I guess was happy with how it was going and impressed by my play. And he actually ended up putting a second world championship entry on the line. So it took a lot of the pressure off for me and the other guy, Birdman or whatever his name is.
Trey.
Trey. Yeah, I don't know if use real names or what. So it's Trey. Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Hawk
confusing
out,
for all of
everyone.
us too.
So that sounds great. And you drove 14 hours roughly?
A little over 10.
10? Yeah, it's a long wait. Let's talk a little bit about the championship battle. I've actually interviewed Dr. Birdman, or Trey is his real name, who actually won the championship round. He told me a little bit about it, but let's hear it from your perspective. How did the last round go?
So he throttled me pretty good in the first set of battles. We didn't even make it to the game 7. In the second round, or the second wave of battles, going into game 6, I had made a play because I had it in hand and playing first in game 6.
Yep. And
I had the card that basically shut the turn down before he got a chance to play, which would force, at worst case for the second round, a off the top sudden death for us. So it didn't end up coming to that. I ended up winning the 7th battle, and we went on to the 3rd one.
The final one, right?
Yeah, the final one.
Yep.
And we had a pretty good back and forth. I was up 3-2 going into the 6th battle, and I don't remember if I could have won the 6th battle or not, but I had a card in my hand, knowing that my seventh hero was super low combat power, and if I lose this one, I get to go second, which means he has to do whatever he's going to do first.
Right.
And then I had the card that would have swapped the hero battle powers with him not having a response. So I knew, based on familiarizing myself with the play cards, there was only a couple of plays that could have sunk me there, and it turns out he had one of them. And it was an awesome finish, and I couldn't give him more props for the way he played and took home the championship.
So let me just I think the one where you swap the higher power card for the lower one, that's one you're talking about.
I think it's called Deadline Deal.
Yep, Deadline Deal. And then the one that shut you down, if I'm correct, was called Call It a Day, which allowed you to didn't allow you to play any more cards.
Yeah, it's kind of my own fault, because I used that on him to basically force that game 7 or 7th battle in the second round or second game.
Yes, exactly. That's what he had mentioned. But what he had right before that is he had a fetch card, is what we call. So it was a card called, if I'm correct, By Any Means Necessary, that allowed him to look through his deck to pull out a card to play. And then the play he pulled out was the one called Call It a Day that shut down you completely. And then he won the whole thing.
Well, he also had another card that let both of us bring 3 hot dogs back from the discard, because he wouldn't have been able to play that without it. So, I mean, it was brilliantly done. Like I said, like, I was so happy for him when he won, because he was the first person I met at the Winter Brawl. We were registering our decks together, and I didn't know anybody else in the room. And it just so happened that we ended up facing off in the, the final round.
Yeah, he said that you were great. One of the things that Trey said is that you did an extremely good job, literally the best in the whole tournament at chaining your plays. You had so much hot dogs that kept coming out, and you had so much energy to be able to just do so many plays and chain them over and over that it was just unbelievable.
I would argue that my early opponents were probably annoyed with me for taking so long trying to figure that out, but
yeah, that was great. And you could tell your Magic the Gathering experience. If I'm correct, roughly 20 years on the Magic circuit for playing in tournaments.
Yeah, so 94, 95, I was really, really deep into it, traveling a lot for stuff. I grew up about 5 minutes north of Portland, Oregon. So with the game really taking off in Seattle, that was what I mean by traveling.
Yeah.
So we were up and down the coast as necessary to play in Pro Tour qualifiers and things like that. My skill peaked in 2003. It was the very beginning of my Navy career. I was in Hawaii and ended up qualifying for the national tournament that year in San Diego.
Wow.
But shortly after that, like, the Navy career really started picking up, and I had less time that I could really direct towards that. And it's been super casual and some tournament play since, but once your brain is mapped for that kind of stuff, it doesn't really go away. So
right, exactly.
Yeah. So I know Seatown, I know absolutely nothing about the Magic tournaments and all of that stuff and rankings, and that's all new to me. But is there, like, as far as prize money and stuff, like, are these like these big national poker tournaments that people get into? Like, what's the?
They used to be. I know they still have them. I'm not as familiar with the layouts now because they've kind of closed them off, like the Worlds and the U.S. Championships and things like that. They've really changed their structure a lot, and that's one of the more recent reasons why I've kind of not collected those cards anymore. They've just been printing so much product, and the major events aren't really open to the public anymore. So there's not as much reason for me to go and collect my friends and travel somewhere and do that kind of thing.
In your heyday, did your winnings pay for, like, the travel to bring friends and stuff?
Oh,
Like,
no, I wasn't that good. The people, the true pros, absolutely, they were getting appearance fees and prizes in the tens of thousands and whatnot. I really paid for my stuff by trading the cards. So it's sense.
3 quick questions for you. You ready? Rapid fire.
All right.
What kind of deck archetypes did you see? Like, yours was a fast chaining with a lot of hot dog energy. What other types did you see there?
Oh, I wish I could answer that question. I was so, like, not knowing the game, I was so focused on what I was doing, I wasn't really trying to pay attention. Because the gameplay is a lot more than just your deck. Like, you've got to know when to take an L in the battle and move on to the next, right? So it's as much that as the cards that you have in your deck.
Okay.
There was a lot of decks that had, like, dice rolling and coin flips and things like that. Without having any prior experience, I tried to stay away from those just because I wasn't sure how much I could rely on or how much they would affect the game. So
yeah, that makes sense. So no worries on that. Can you give us any indicators? A lot of people want to know this because there's so little data on what are good cards, what are good decks to build, how to deck build, and that's what we're learning, like you are. Is there any cards that stood out to you as being really good, or ones that people played? Anything that people can look at and say, hey, this might be something good to get in my deck or build around?
Well, there's 2. They're very similar. One is and I'm horrible with the names of the cards right now. One is the one hot dog costed card that allows you to, for this battle, the next, like, all of your hot dog costs are reduced by 1.
Yep.
And then there's another one that says for this battle and the next, your opponent has to pay 2 extra hot dogs for every play they want to make. Like,
Yeah, those are huge.
yeah, those will be in every single deck that I build for sure.
Yep. That's
So,
great. Really
yeah.
good news. Thank you for that. And then finally, my last question. Are you going to go to National this year?
Yes.
He has.
I had
right?
already. This will be my 3rd year going to the National, and it's always been about meeting like my heroes from my childhood and stuff. And so I had already planned on going to the National, which also helped with the motivation to go to South Carolina and at least try to figure out getting that entry. So
And
I
then-
will be there for the full 5 days of it, and hopefully have time to rub elbows with some of my favorite players like Walter Jones, who I haven't met yet, and different things like that. But
And you're going to do the tournaments, right?
yeah. Well, the Apex for sure. I'm hyper focused on that. I need to reach out in the Discord and get some clarification on what they mean by having unique plays for your decks and stuff like that. But if depending on how that question goes, will determine on if I play in the other ones or not.
Okay.
But
Yep.
just for lack of resources, I mean, some of the stuff you're going to need for the Apex isn't really inexpensive right now. So
Right. That's true.
having to build more than one deck will be cost prohibitive for me at least.
Did
Well, I
you
will
have
say-
any? Oh, I'm sorry, Hawkewind. Go ahead.
Last thing for me, don't forget, people actually, including Trey, you can actually use other people's decks.
Mhm.
And then come to an agreement with the person who owns the deck on what kind of winning split that you could do. So just keep it in mind, as someone who did so well in the Winter Brawl, you might have a few people knocking on your door that are whales saying, hey, do you mind playing in this tournament for me outside the Apex one on my deck? And we'll do some kind of agreement. So I'm just saying right now, after this airs live, I think, or airs on, you'll have a few people that actually will be knocking on your door through DMs.
Okay.
Text.
It's good to know. Yeah.
I was just going to ask, if being a Magic player for so many years and stuff, were you? What did you think of the strategy and stuff and the gameplay behind BoBA as you started to play?
Well, my initial thoughts were a little bit panicked, like trying to learn all the cards super quick.
Yeah.
Now that I've had some more time with it, I'm cooking up some things to try and play test with my son and my friends. At the end of March, I'm going down for our little fantasy baseball retreat, and a lot of those guys are into the card games with me, and they're gonna help me out. So, yeah, I'm cooking up some stuff. We'll see what I can come up with and have some time play testing with. But as far as the strategy goes, it's very, very similar to so I can actually answer your question. It's very similar to Magic the Gathering because it's really the only game I have experience with. But you have your card base, and you just try to do the best with what you have. Not all plays are going to be good for every deck or every situation. So it's you got to figure out. It really is less about hero power, assuming the decks that you're facing are similarly built hero powers, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't come into play as much as the strategy of the plays. So, and just knowing when to facilitate specific heroes and whatnot. So,
Well, thank you very much, Jake. Appreciate your time and a lot of
glad to do
insight
it.
you gave. Really appreciate it, and hope the best for you at National.
I appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll see you all there.
Yeah, good luck to
Yeah.
you, and yeah, we'll
Congrats
all be
again.
there.
Yep.
Excellent.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheers.
That was insightful.
That was
It
pretty
was.
neat.
And does someone have a dealer for melatonin, or what is it? No, ginkgo biloba. Because
Oh, you go brain power.
yeah,
brain
because
fuel?
this whole thing, I can't even get to the plays and the hot dog and all of that. I have to figure out how I'm going to remember what freaking hero I put down in what spot. That's my issue.
Are we
Yeah.
allowed to take notes during the gameplay? Like, can I have a little pad with me? And...
Yeah, can we have notes?
That's a good question. You better ask that right away in Discord.
Oh, we'll have to
Ooh.
refer to the rules. And see
Yeah.
if there's anything in the rules about
Yep. Call
Nope.
over a judge right away, right off the
Yeah,
bat.
or maybe I'll write on my
And
fingers
throw a
that they
flag.
correspond to the spots.
Oh,
Like,
great.
okay, power 50s.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
like in high school when you cheated. Go right ahead, Jen.
Yeah. Didn't get caught then, won't get caught now.
Why does Jen keep looking at her palm?
Oh my God. Yeah, don't wipe the sweat because you're
Yeah,
going to
right,
smear
yeah.
the answers.
Or if I go
Why
like
does
this,
Jen have
you're gonna,
ink all
oh,
over
the
her
ink.
face?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Hawkewind.
Hawkewind.
We have a great segment from Dr. Pineapples, a new Behind the Blok segment. He's going to be telling us, for all of us losers, about the Brady Ball. If you're not aware, on February 15th, Blokpax randomized in the silver tickets, and Schmoe, also known as Panda in the Discord, won the Brady Ball. He was in a bit of a collective with some others, and they won the Brady Ball. And Dr. Pineapples is going to give us a little behind the scenes on that.
Thank you so much, boys. Always appreciate the dedication you put into your videos. I don't know about you, Tex, but I thought I would feel a little bit better actually seeing the ball in person because I'm a loser, but it did not.
No, it didn't help at all. But I never really expected to win. And I know the people that won it, the Schmoe group, the Panda group, as Schmoe is now known. It's great for them. Who knows what they're going to do with it? Maybe we can find out what they're going to do with it, because right now we have one of the members of that group, one of the winning members, Petrarca. Holy
Hello.
hell! What are you going to do with that thing?
Well, we're working on that. I actually just reached out to some people with Tom Brady and so forth, trying to see if I can maybe get his autograph on there. So
Get your wallet ready.
I mean, why not try, right?
Hey, no, it's great
Hey.
if you can do it.
Yeah.
Where is the ball? Has anybody physically taken ownership of it yet?
No, not yet. Not
No?
yet.
Eric has it?
I still have it
It's
in my possession.
safe.
Yeah. So
it's in the vault.
Yep, it's in Schmoe's account, Panda, and we've just been talking, trying to figure out exactly what to do. I mean, it was, one of those things. It was just such a shock. He had reached out originally to the community and said, "Hey, look, I'm grouping tickets together and so forth," and I kind of waited to the last minute, had talked to some other people, but I was like, it was his idea first and foremost. And I said, let's throw mine and then Smash threw his in. And then we had a few of them from the BBV group to also throw in. And the next morning, wake up and get the shock of a lifetime. So
That's amazing.
Was it? I don't really think it was that much of a shock, Petrarca. I mean, you're dealing with Schmoe and Panda, and when he wants to do something, he makes it happen, and he's very strategic and everything, and it usually works out in his favor. So, was it really like a oh my god, or was it like yeah okay?
Yeah, but I mean, for
he
me
had
personally, it was, because there was another group of people that had a large amount of tickets also, and then I mean, there were a lot of individuals that had a fair amount too. So
I
it
don't know.
just takes one.
I don't know, Petrarca. You might be one of the luckier people. You've hit some pretty good things in your Blokpax career with us. So, I when I found out you were part of the group, I was definitely not surprised that you guys ended up winning it.
Schmoe, though, or Panda, he's what, 2 for 2 now on huge. He won the Tesla.
Yeah, he
And
got
now
the Tesla.
he won the Brady Ball. I mean, that's amazing.
Well, Petrarca had the big bounty pull at the National. He was the non-bounty winner also.
Yeah.
Right.
And if I
money goes to money.
Weren't you part of the group too that hit the 10x Gavler color pop? So like,
I am in the wrong group.
I'm just trying to support the community and somehow,
Jen, we got to find better groups.
I was gonna say, Tex, I go into everything with that same philosophy. I'm just trying to support the group.
Yeah.
And
well, it was funny because I did reach out to some people beforehand. I asked them, hey, what are you guys doing? Whatever. And there was 2 people in particular that reached back out to me, and they didn't do anything. And I was like, I told you to stick with me. Come on, let's go. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, it has been an amazing ride over the last, year with Blokpax and supporting obviously the community, and then, getting it returned like this. It's
Yeah,
but never my expectations. I'm not that type of person. I don't typically win these kind of things, so it's been very, very interesting.
I don't typically win these, except for all the ones I've won.
except for this, and this.
Since I joined this community, I'm telling you, don't get me wrong. I live a very privileged life. I'm not an elite bit saying that I don't, but these kind of things, I've always said I don't believe in luck. I believe that you put yourself in position to get things like this. So, but like I said, it was the night before, and I hadn't made a decision, and I was like, you know what? I talked with Schmoe Panda originally, and that's who I'm going with. And he's like, "Are you sure that other group's bigger? They got more." I was like, "Nope. I told you I was going to go with you, and I'm going to be sticking to that." So
it's really cool. I just want to say congrats to you guys, obviously, for winning one of the largest item that we've given away in Blokpax so far.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like I said, I'm hoping we can find a way to get Mr. Brady to sign on also. So I contacted TB12 Sports Fanatics and his Instagram business account. So we'll see if I get any responses. But
I'd like to echo my congratulations, Petrarca, to you and BBV and Smash, and more importantly, Schmoe/Panda, and keep us updated on if anything happens with the Brady signature and or what you guys eventually decide to do with it.
We'll do.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Now we're going to throw it to our friend Loko, who has the Wonders weather report.
It's time for your Wonders weather report on this beautiful 55-degree day here, late February in the Pacific Northwest. Had to deal with quite a bit of flooding and rain last week, but almost all our snow is gone. Spring is in the air. But enough about my weather. Let's talk about the forecast for Wonders. I feel like all I give you are a bunch of to-do lists. Well, we have more to-dos. Matter of fact, so many to-dos, I had to make a list myself because I do not have it memorized. First off, if you have, make sure I say all this right, a serialized advantage box. On the streets, we know them as dragon boxes or Hawkewind or Sulfera, whatever orbital you might have. Now's your chance to start the redemption process. Currently, they're probably sitting in an ETH or ETH wallet for you folks, or maybe you've transferred them to the marketplace. But if you haven't already, you'll want to get them to the marketplace if you plan on redeeming that physical box anytime soon. Before you start doing any moving though, you want to make sure that your Blokpax account is linked to that ETH wallet. So first, double check your Blokpax account is linked to the ETH wallet that has your serialized advantage box, aka dragon box, and so forth, before you try and move anything. Then, when you know it's linked and you're ready to move, you're going to want to send that NFT to bank.blokpax.eth. I did it today with one of my dragon boxes and worked just fine. I had my wallet linked to my Blokpax account, sent it to bank.blokpax.eth from my wallet, and it is there now on the marketplace, ready for me to redeem. Currently, I do not know the redemption process. That will be shared with us in a bit, I think tomorrow, after they run some of those randoms. Now, if you would like to have your serialized advantage box delivered to the Shattering, during the redemption process, you're going to want to make sure you use the hotel of the Marriott Columbia to have it shipped to. I don't know what that's going to look like yet, but as soon as they explain how the redemption process is going to go, I imagine on the marketplace there'll be some sort of button and then you fill out where you want it shipped. etc. So we'll try and have the address linked to this video here, but it is 1200 Hampton Street, Columbia, South Carolina, 29201. It's a Marriott at Columbia, South Carolina. That's only if you're going to the Shattering. Otherwise, it might be a long trip for you to get that serialized advantage box. Now, let's talk more about the Shattering. I've gotten a couple emails about events that are happening at the Shattering. First off, Friday night, as we show up, a little Stone Seeker welcome, as we will have from 6 to 9 p.m. some light bites and a drink to welcome us to Columbia, South Carolina. On Saturday, March 22nd, from 6 to 10 p.m. is the main Shattering event. Check-in 6 to 6:30 for the swag bag and a nice welcome. I believe we're going to see many boxes, many packs of Wonders getting ripped. People probably hoot and holler, and I know I've been in some whatnots this week, talking to some people breaking there who say they're going to be at Wonders of the First as well. So I'm pretty excited for that. Now, as you collect those cards and rip your boxes, you want to make sure you have an idea about a deck you want to build, because on Sunday from 10 to 4 will be a Wonders of the First tournament, and it is a constructed tournament, meaning you will have to build your deck with cards you have. Now, if you're like me, maybe you won't have a ton of cards there to choose from, I think one of the starter decks might be a viable solution. Or if you're thinking, no, I still want to build my deck, there will be an option, the Stone Seeker Arrival package, with 2 of those mini booster boxes of 6 packs each, and the 2-player starter bundled with a Thalwyn deck that's a lot of fun to play, and a Sulfera deck. Those might be options as well. Or with those cards, mix and match, see what you come up with, because there is no limit to the DBS. That's right, no limit to the DBS. So there you go.
Thank you so much, Loko. Pleasure as always seeing you walking wherever it is in your undisclosed location.
Yes.
All right, what do we got next?
Up next, we're going to go to our good friend Slappy Whyte, who was at the Winter Brawl. Slappy.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hey
How
there.
are you?
I'm doing better than Tex, but not by much. I'm not dying of a 6-year-old's disease. And actually, I shouldn't make a joke. Like,
Don't make me laugh.
for little
Wait,
children.
I
All
gotta
right.
mute now.
Every time I want Tex to mute, I'm just gonna make him laugh. I am feeling a little bit under the weather though, because my kids had winter break, and so as part of the winter break is that we headed down to Columbia, South Carolina for the Winter Brawl. And my just turned 16-year-old Hunter, he's American Legolas in the Discord, he ended up playing, and I asked Eva, the fantasy intern, if she wanted to go, and she was on the fence because we were staying with family in Wilmington, North Carolina, about 3.5 hours away. And apparently that aunt that once a year does an ice cream, this ice cream thing where her and her friends say, to hell with it, we're going to eat whatever we want one day. And they have tons of ice cream, all the fixings. So imagine telling a 13-year-old, hey, do you want to go with a bunch of middle-aged guys in a sports bar? Or do you want to hang out at an ice cream party with your fun aunt? Like, oh, and drive 7 hours round trip the same day. What do you want to do? So ask Eva about that.
What did she end up deciding?
Yeah, she did not go. She did not go.
Okay, good girl. Way to go,
Slappy,
Eva.
I just have to ask, you being from Vermont, did you ever attempt to eat the Vermonster from Ben and Jerry's?
No, yeah. You know something? I actually was a tour guide at the Ben and Jerry's factory.
Does not surprise me.
It's a fun fact. They used to give us 3 pints of ice cream a day. That was one of the benefits. And so it's hard because now I can't eat less than a pint because of what I ate for lunch. The entire summer I worked there, I was like, I would never bring a lunch, and I would eat a pint of ice cream every day. So when I start that pint, I am finishing that pint.
The cornerstone of any nutritious meal.
Yeah, I know. I think about when I was there, Ben actually went through, he had like a double bypass. He had some kind of bypass when I was there. And I was like, well, yeah, when you look at the saturated fat. So I'm just hoping that my exercise outruns that cholesterol. But getting back to the Winter Brawl. All right. So speaking of which, Southern Fried Food, so this was at a brewery. And the Winter Brawl, and I have to say, I'm shocked. There's so much excitement in the Battle Arena community. I was a little surprised that there wasn't a waiting list for this tournament, because the grand prize was that BoJack's autograph that gives you an entree into the $100,000 national tournament. And So there were, it was only a tournament for 16 people. And so I was able to, Hunter and I both entered. And it's a good thing. I normally don't leave early. I left early for this one. And I ended up hitting a 5K at the University of Wilmington, North Carolina. And so if you've ever been down like Carolina Beach, Wilmington, it's not like city blocks where you're like, oh, the detour go left. There's literally a marsh on the one side. So you literally have to go backwards, go around to the other side of the peninsula, and then go back around. Anyway, it cost me like an hour. So I'm in the parking lot. Yo-Yo flew in from LA and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, we're in the van. Hunter and I are in there. And we're putting our cards into those. And for those, and I'm not a player, a TCG player, I have the penny sleeves, that you slide your cards in. But apparently for playing in these events, right? I know, Jen, you were showing this off on a previous show. You need the special sleeves that are more hardcore. So because we were traveling, I had them sent to a pickup Amazon box in Columbia. Well, I drove right by where the Brawl was, and I'm like, we got to get to pick up my sheets. So like we drive over there, pick them up, we go back, we're in the parking lot. Yo-Yo gets in the back seat. So Hunter, myself, and Yo-Yo are taking out these, $1,000 cards, ripping them out, sticking them in new one, like, and trying to do it quickly while being careful. Tex and I both co-own a Bo Jackson Blue 190 card. So then we've got a couple really great cards in there. We have a Billy card. But so the tournament itself is that it was fantastic. I played Wonders. I've played Battle Arena, but I will say coming away from that tournament, it makes me, I really want a local tournament here. I want to play it again. It's the type of thing in the first tournament, I did well enough to make it to the top 8 moving on. The second one, I did horrible. But it makes me want to play again. I want to move up the rankings. I want to try different strategies. I'm not a TCG person, but it is a lot of fun. And, I spoke with Jake, the runner-up to the Winter Brawl, and he was amazing. He just used so many plays. You'd look on his playmat and it looked like a game of solitaire. He just had them all stacked up on every battle. And meanwhile, the rest of us, like some battles, like there's no plays, right? And you run out of hot dogs. And it's funny because when I was creating my plays, and it was great doing it with my 16-year-old son, Hunter, because he's like, well, you and I have very different decks because we chose very different plays. I was thinking of it from a strategic standpoint, and I can't speak for Jake Seaton but Seatown, but I think he chose a lot of ones which were 0 and 1 hot dogs. That's the only way. He could have just been stacking them. And so I think next time I play, I really want to switch it over to that. I will say one of my first matches, I was playing with, I have some really great high cards, and I was playing with someone who just came along with a friend. He didn't have a lot of great cards. So the thing is, I was just whipping over 180, 170, 160, 150. And really the plays, like there was not too much you could do. I was overpowering so much. But then the funny thing is, one of my games, I played Chasing Unicorns' 10-year-old daughter, or however old she is. And I'll share some image. She started flipping over at 190, 190, 180, 180. Literally, there was nothing I could do. Just destroying me. And I was this close to beating her on the 7th battle. And as Frenchie put it, she went gangsta on you. She had like a 55. And I had like a 170, and I'm like, that's it, I got it. And she did the old reverse where she took my hero's power and swapped it. So I was like, that
brilliant
was
strategy.
Yeah. And she just, and the best part is when she beats you, she just quietly walks away. Like,
outmaneuvered by a 10-year-old. Awesome.
She did. And the worst part is after she beat me, I moved on to the top 8, and I looked at the seeding and who am I facing in the first round of the top 8? Freaking 10-year-old Chasing Unicorn's daughter. And I'm like, crap. I was like, and she destroyed me even worse that time in the final tournament. But one thing for the newer folks in BoBA is that there was a newer member in the BoBA, a new member of the ecosystem. And it's Troy Cards, is that he and his wife Sheila were great people. They were showing off all their great cards. And I said to him, they had a 3.5 hour drive back to Virginia. And I said, don't leave early. I'm like, don't leave early. And, they, like normal people, I don't know. It's like we got started probably around 4. This is probably about 8 or 9 o'clock. He's got a 3.5 hour drive. I'm telling him not to leave. He left. And so what does Frenchie do? As they're wrapping up the first tournament, Frenchie starts walking around with a booster box for everybody in the tournament and says, here, rip this. And then he comes back a couple minutes later. I don't know if this was a plan all along. And he goes, we're going to have a second tournament. and you can
Wow.
only do it with the deck you build out of this. And there were a couple of rules that he had to tweak because of that, but he goes, you can't trade, so it's just what's in your own deck. And he goes, so, you know, go ahead and do that. And then Frenchie casually mentioned, and I think most of us didn't hear it or didn't really take it in. Frenchie goes, oh, and I'm going to throw another BoJack's auto to the winner of this. There were only 7 people left when that tournament started.
Wow.
So
A
if you
1
had
in
been at
7
the tournament,
shot.
a 1 in
You
7
still-
chance. And
And you still lost.
yeah, and Yo-Yo, so Yo-Yo, Hunter, and I were 3 of the 7, almost a 50% chance, and we still lost. Now, to American Legolas, Hunter's credit, yeah, Hunter's credit, Hunter made it to the final. He was playing against Bear, who we all know is a TCG guy,
Oh my God, Bear. Jesus.
Yeah.
and he made it to the 7th battle against Bear, and
Oh.
and actually Bear said Hunter told me that I can't remember which one of those key plays that Hunter had, but Bear saw that Hunter had 3 hot dogs going into the final, into the 7th battle. And then what doggone inflation is what Bear used. Bear used that, so every play cost an additional 2 hot dogs. And Bear goes, I knew when I saw those 3 hot dogs, I knew what you were gonna do to me. And so he dropped it before Hunter. And so Hunter didn't have enough hot dogs to play the 3 hot dog play. And so that's how Bear ended up taking it from Hunter. But yeah, he just loved it. So I will say, I should share is that
Yeah, did you get any good swag or anything? Like,
yeah,
what
well,
did you bring back?
so I will say Hunter actually has his glow mat. So the Bo Jackson 1 of 1 battle mat is freaking awesome. And I will say the Bojax is awesome, but the glow one I love even better. I don't know how this is going to do with the background, but this is the one.
Hold it up a little higher. There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
Lower.
Yep. Oh, no,
Nope,
lower.
the other lower.
There,
Okay.
that's good.
There
Right
you
there.
go.
So this is the one we all got who entered the tournament.
Is that a Jeff French signature I see on there?
That is. And it's funny with Hunter because not only did he get Frenchie on it, he was so excited to get Birdman's signature on his mats because like Trey is this huge celebrity. So
He's the champ, right? He won it. He won
he's the
whole
champ.
thing?
As Kyle D put it, like, right, it starts with 1. T Sage is Kyle's first one, and so Birdman's first one is my son. And then this one, which is Yo-Yo, he's like, what? I didn't see this. How did I miss this one? This is for those of us who moved on to the round of 8 in the first tournament.
Oh, a little higher.
That is
little
sick.
higher.
Back up a
Little
little.
higher.
Back up a
Oh,
little.
all the ladies. That's amazing.
That is a sick one.
I'm going
want
to
that
eBay
one.
right now to see if anybody has listed one of those.
I want that one.
You know, one of the things that Jeff said is that I overheard Jeff saying at one point, he goes, you know, I didn't really get the mat thing. He goes, but I get it now. And it's interesting because I'm the same way. When they were selling on the Bo Battle Arena, remember all the boxes sold out and we were all like, crap, we didn't get any. And they still had the mats available for like a half an hour. Nobody wanted them. And it just, yeah, I get it now. And I thought $40 was insane for that. But looking back now, I would have done that. I will say that Yo-Yo, Cardio Chris, others, myself were like, hey, do you still want that? We heard from Seatown. I actually was going to trade him cards for his mat. And he was willing. He told Yo-Yo no because he had promised it to me. Now, remember, because he advanced to the final, what they did is they brought a different mat out each time. And so next time maybe I'll have the glow mat that I can show you from Hunter. But I got to tell you, the glow mat, first of all, it has Gavler and Donnie Baseball, so it's got 2 Yankees. But beyond that, just the green is just unbelievable. But when we walked out of that place at midnight, Hunter looks at me and he goes, you know, we've been in that building for over 9 hours. And I'm like, I said it to Yo-Yo. He's like, yeah, but it didn't feel that way. But that's the key thing for people to know, whether you're in Wonders of the First or Bo Battle Arena or what Cosmics or whatever Blokpax project, you never leave early. You always go to the event and you never leave early. And there's always more. And they had the shirts, the Home Team Hero shirts. So we got mats, we got Home Team Hero shirts. And yes, and that's
I got my Wonder shirt. Oh, I thought I had my Battle Arena shirt up. Whoops.
Did somebody else dress you today, Tex?
I'm sick. Leave me alone.
All right. But so that was so the Brawl was a lot of fun. Did you guys have any other questions about the Brawl?
No, I think that was about it.
I did not.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I missed it, but glad
Yeah.
that everyone had such a great time.
So, Jen, are you going to the Shattering?
Yes, I am.
All right,
Yeah, we're
excited.
doing a show from the Shattering.
Yeah.
Yeah, what kind of
Yup.
producer are you?
Producer hasn't told me yet.
Exactly.
All right.
Ah,
All right. Well, listen.
We're telling you, we're doing a show from the Shattering.
All right. Well,
yeah.
it's and I should say, meeting the people. Like I get to meet. I don't want to dox him like Hawkewind, but Matt Cantrell, since his Discord name is his full name.
Matt
I think he
Cantrell,
changed. I think he changed it to add his social security number on the end of it now. But no, it's
Mother's maiden name, address.
So I met Matt, Jason B, Brad, who goes by Roms6. I'm thinking about the other ones. I finally met Joe, an OG in the Blokpax community. He said he was representing there from New Jersey. He mentioned all you Jersey people were helping him on his way down south. Joe's awesome. Joe had a Lost Miner, take that move nuts. He had a Lost Miner emblem on his chest and then big on the back that he did. It actually looked really cool. But so it was great to meet a lot of people. And then, of course, the Blokpax team was there. So, and then, by the way, James, we got to see him. He's got a little facial hair going. He's starting to look like he's starting to look like a man now, Jenny. He's not like, I remember when you're like, oh, James, I wish you were my son. Like, and I was thinking like, I don't think he could be your son anymore. He's officially a man now.
Oh, stop growing up, boys. Goodness gracious.
They grow up so fast.
All right, well, Tex, I think that's wrapping up another show for us. Do you have any final words? I would say final words of wisdom, but that doesn't actually apply.
Yeah, not in my condition. I have no wisdom at this point. I'm barely conscious.
You can.
Oh no, I can't start coughing now. No, it's been an amazing show. This might be our most informative show yet. Lots of great stuff from Eric S. It's amazing. We've waited so long for the wonders, and we're less than a month away from, well, maybe 3 weeks away from having this in our hands finally, and being able to rip and play, and it's amazing just everything that's happening.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. Could not agree more.
Yeah.
Well, go take care of yourself, Tex.
Thank you. I'm going to go into a cave somewhere and die.
Okay, well, please don't do that. But so, and that's a wrap for another edition of Around the Blok. Big thanks to our field reporters for keeping us informed, and to Slappy Whyte for keeping things rolling, because let's be honest, we all know that's a full-time job. We'll be back next week with more news, more updates, and plenty more from across the Blokpax universe. Until then, stay engaged, stay competitive, and as always, we'll see you next time around the block.
Bye. B. The B always screws me up.
Hey, I can't even do it.
A.
E. T. I'll be responsible for the T.
Oh my god.
And we get no music.
Let's dance our way out of it. Oh, this is taking every bit of energy I have.
I know. Tex is gonna be comatose for 2 weeks now.